Okay, so for part C, we have almost everything we need. This, I've realized, is actually for part D. So to start this off, we need to set a different omega. And we want that to be equal to numpy log space, because this has to be on a logarithmic scale. We want that from 0 to, actually we want that from -2 to 2 with 100 data points in between there. And then we want our omega, our decibel rating, and our phase lag, I guess, to be equal to the, I think it's sig dot Bode, and then we want that to be with respect to the forward transfer function. Whoa. And then our omega. And I know that's not going to do anything once I do that, because we actually have to then start plotting stuff. Big equals make that reminds me. Didn't I make a rows and columns one? Could have sworn I made a rows columns. Oh well. Guess now is as good a time as ever. So rows equal to 1, columns equal to 2, because I like to be able to see it all in one. Big, add scatter. X is equal to our omega, y is equal to decibels, because this is going to be our phase margin, and then we want this in row 1, column 2, column 1. And then name is equal to decibels. I'll just go ahead and copy this, because the only things different are going to be that it's column 2, that it's phase. Now this is named phase. And then we need to make this update the axes. No, I think you're supposed to have, maybe? Hey! It doesn't look quite right, but it's pretty close to what it's supposed to be. Because you're supposed to be able to see your decibel rating, and then your phase margin, and then the crossover frequency, which is when it hits. Oh, well, also these are the wrong numbers. So this is supposed to be 0.8. So this is supposed to be 0.8. Okay, it's still about, oh, that's better. So then you can see your crossover frequency is somewhere around the realm of 1.1 something. And the crossover frequency is the point at which your phase lag reaches negative 180 and the system becomes unstable. And then phase margin, which is what I was saying earlier, is when you have enough of an open feedback response that it makes the closed feed loop unstable. And that would be the amount of change that you need just to make it unstable. So we got these now, we got this, and then I think I'm supposed to set KC equal to 3 and see what changes happen. And I don't know if it's actually supposed to become unstable sooner or not. Doesn't appear to have changed too much. Well, that changed a lot. And it's still it's even more unstable, it looks like. Yeah. Yeah, it went even more unstable because your KC is even larger. So that's what would happen. I don't know if these two are supposed to change, but okay, got that. Yep, the Bode diagram for an open loop. Yep, okay. Why this would lead to an unstable closed loop. Okay, so as to why it becomes unstable when KC is 3, so when the phase margin, you're supposed to have an amplitude ratio which is greater than or equal to 1, because when you take the log of 1, it's 0. And if we go to this 194 thing right here, and we see that that's where the crossover frequency is, then we go over here and see that that same region is above 0. That means the system's unstable. But then when we do it this way, and it's still the same on this diagram, which is why I was kind of confused, that 1.14 number is below 0, so the system is then stable. And with that, I think that concludes part 3. Well, okay. There's this 1E little part here that I need to do, which means... Oh, nope, I need KC to be 3 still. Yeah, you can definitely see this is more unstable because the output is way up here, or the input rather. It's well above what it should be. But if you do an input of one more, then they're right about equal, and this number should be right around 0.64. Now, I know why I'm confused. I didn't put the amplitude ratio in. So amplitude ratio is equal to 10 to the dB over 20. I don't think I was supposed to get a whole... Anyway, I don't exactly know what I did wrong here. The amplitude ratio is supposed to be equal to 0.64, but it's not right now. But this equals 0.64, and that's what's important at the peak. Right around the peak, yep. 0.64 once it stabilizes. So, and that would be why it's stable. So yeah, we got that. I think that means that I am done with this video.